Well, hello friends and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. This is the latest, greatest 2023 Cannondale SuperSix Evo road bike, and in this episode I will give you the buyer's guide for this bike. So as you see, the Cannondale has recently presented the newest iteration of their Cannondale SuperSix Evo, and I believe that this is a very interesting and exciting bike from Cannondale for the 2023 season. Also, let's first discuss the question, who is this bike for? So, when you look at the history of Cannondale SuperSix Evo platform, it is clear that this bike has always been designed to be, light, stiff climbing machine. And in this iteration, they have also incorporated a little bit of aerodynamically optimized carbon fiber frame and the fork, and also a bit of, seat post, handlebar stem. This is a classical way that a lot of climbing machines now are moving towards, so basically optimizing it to be more aerodynamically efficient. Retail price of this newest Cannondale SuperSix Evo 2 is $5,500. So definitely not a cheap bike, but I believe that this is a very interesting price point and a very good price in my opinion. Also, when you look at the paint scheme on this bike, you can choose between two paint schemes. One is this very classical blacked out with a hint of silver, and then you have this beautiful, in my opinion, deep teal paint scheme with a hint of kind of purple and yellow. Absolutely stunning paint scheme. I would definitely go for this deep teal paint scheme. Okay, so now we can dive into the specifications of this bike and really see what do you get for your hard-earned $5,500. As always, let's kick off with the frame and the fork. So the frame is the Cannondale's SuperSix Evo carbon frame, which has the internal cable routing, 12mm through axles both front and the back, and also flat mount disc brakes. I will mention here that this 2023 model comes with the standard BSA 68mm threaded bottom bracket, which is absolutely excellent, so very easy to service, and your local mechanic will definitely love you, and there should be no creaking noises from this bottom bracket. When you look at the fork on this bike, you will get the Cannondale's SuperSix Evo carbon fork, again flat mount disc brakes and 12mm through axle. So all in all, absolutely no complaints here from me about the Cannondale's carbon fiber frame and the fork. It should be extremely good quality, and also I will mention here that you are getting a lifetime warranty on the carbon frame from Cannondale, so everything top notch here. Now let's look at the drivetrain on this bike. So what do you get? So when it comes to the shifters, front mech and the rear mech, you will get a superb Shimano's Ultegra Di2 electronic group set. So this is the latest Di2 electronic group set, 12-speed group set from Shimano, and I will just mention here that Cannondale didn't, cut any corners, because when you look at the crankset, it is a Shimano Ultegra crankset, 5236 chainrings, and also the Shimano Ultegra cassette at the back, 1130 cassette Shimano Ultegra. So absolutely no cutting corners here. I'm so glad that it's a full Shimano Ultegra group set. I will just mention here that when it comes to the Shimano's Ultegra Di2 electronic group set, it's a semi-wireless 12-speed group set, so shifters and the front mech are communicating wirelessly, and then you have a cable connection from the front mech to the rear mech. Okay, now let's look at the braking system on this bike. You are getting, again, in my opinion, superb Shimano's Ultegra hydraulic disc brakes, 160mm rotors front, 140mm rotor at the back, and these are the MT800 braking rotors. So these MT800 braking rotors are from the Shimano's mountain bike world. These are the Shimano XT braking rotors, absolutely superb, no problems here. In the future, of course, you can always, keep the MT800 rotors, or you can buy something from the Shimano's Ultegra level braking rotors. The only thing I will mention here is that this rear braking rotor of 140 millimeters, I would just, ride it until you destroy it, and then buy yourself a 160 millimeter braking rotor at the back. I'm not so sure why all the bike manufacturers are putting 140 millimeter braking rotors at the back. Just doesn't make any sense. You really want a good heat dissipation and good stopping power, and not, saving the weight on some small diameter braking rotor. But all in all, a braking system as it is going to work perfectly fine. Now let's look at the wheel set on this bike. So what are you getting here? The wheels are a Hologram 45R carbon fiber wheel set. Hologram, the in-house brand of Cannondale. So carbon fiber wheel set with 50mm rim depth and 21mm inner rim width. It is of course tubeless ready. You will just need to provide your tubeless tape and the tubeless valves. And this wheel set comes with the hologram sealed cartridge bearing hubs with 12mm through axles front and the back. As far as I know, these hubs are based on the DT Swiss 350 hubs, so I'm expecting this wheel set to be very good, and also I'm expecting it to be somewhere in the region of 1,500-1,600 grams in total. So carbon fiber wheel set, hologram 45R, excellent stuff here, no complaints from me. And this wheelset is wrapped in Vittoria Rubinho Pro tires. These tires, as they are 25mm front and the back, and I wish that Cannondale has installed 28mm tires, because this frame and the fork can take all the way to 30mm tires. So for example, in the future, my advice to you is buy yourself a 28mm tire, just because you're gonna have even more air volume and a smoother ride. Now let's look at some of the smaller components like the handlebar and the stem. So the handlebar you are getting is from Vision Trimax carbon fiber handlebar, aerodynamically optimized of course, and also the stem is from Cannondale classical aluminum stem. So I'm glad here that Cannondale is using, classical handlebar stem, separate pieces, nothing is proprietary here. It's very easy to adjust your position, very easy to upgrade anything in the future if you really have to, so this is a top notch. It's not some kind of one-piece carbon fiber affair. When you look at the saddle, you will have a Pro Logo Dimension saddle. If you like it, great. If not, it's very easy to replace the saddle, so no worries about the saddle here. I will also mention here that Cannondale has included their C1 Aero carbon fiber seat post here, which is very nice, because these carbon fiber seat posts can definitely soak up some of the smaller road bumps. And with this bike, of course, you are getting the Cannondale's own wheel sensor to track everything, speed, distance, time, and you can pair it with any kind of onboard computer that you have. Cannondale didn't specifically say what's the bike weight here, but I'm expecting in some kind of size, let's say 56, we are probably speaking about, maybe 7.5 kilograms out of the box for this bike. So, all in all, what is my advice to you with this Cannondale SuperSix Evo 2 with the retail price of $5,500 US? I strongly believe you should definitely shortlist this bike, and you should definitely test it, because considering all the components and superb carbon fiber frame and the fork from Cannondale and the retail price of $5,500 US, I still believe it's a very attractive price considering the current market situation and what you are getting. And specifically what I mean by that is probably the biggest competitor to this bike is going to be the Giant Propel Advanced One bike, their newest 2023 version. And when you look at this bike, it has a retail price of 4,500 British pounds, which is at the current exchange rate approximately $5,400 US, so very close to the Cannondale's price. And again, this Giant Propel Advanced One comes with, again, carbon fiber frame fork from Giant, carbon wheels from Giant, and in this case it is the SRAM rival ETAP wireless group set. So a very, very similar component built, and again, one of those aerodynamically optimized race bikes. So I believe that for the 2023 season, Cannondale has made an excellent bike in this SuperSix Evo 2 with the retail price of $5,500 US. So I think this is gonna be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing, and if you do, keep on watching, keep on liking, and as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!